Okay, so in this tutorial I'm gonna teach you how to create a DLL and use it in Unity to use CPP code inside your C# code in Unity. So I will be using this simple tutorial from Microsoft. I'll be linking this on the description so you can follow along to create a simple DLL. Okay, so first I'll be using the Visual Studio Community 2017 that comes with Unity. Uh, it doesn't come with some CPP options by default. So if you can't create a DLL when you go create a new project, you have to modify. So just download the installer, run it, and click modify here. And you just have to check this desktop development with C++, and then reinstall it. For instance, you click modify here, right? And then once it's modified, you can go back to Visual Studio, open up Visual Studio, and then you go File, New, Projects. So here it's on CLR. You don't want this because it will build a managed C#, a managed C++ library that has some problems sometimes running managed code in Unity. So what you want to do is click here Windows Desktop and create a regular dynamic link library. So I'll name this project Math Library. Maybe Math Library Test, because I already have a Math Library project. So I'll click OK. It's generating some files for me. Just wait a little bit. Okay, so it creates the scaffolding of the project for me, the basic files. What you have to do is click here in projects and click add new item, header file. Everything should be the same name to avoid problems. Like if you don't put everything the same name, it might not work. So I'll put here my library test, and okay, added the header, and now click here on source files, add new item, and same thing, math library header .cpp. Okay, so everything's created. I'll go to the walkthrough of Microsoft. Here it basically tells you how to create, and after you've done it, you have to replace the contents of your header file with this. So just do that. Okay, so I'll read the code briefly for you to understand. So here you have pragma once, which is a preprocessor instruction that tells files to be included only once. It avoids duplicating duplicated code, right? So here you define the function signature. This is DECO spec export and import, depending on what you're doing. For instance, if you are using the DLL, the built DLL, with another application, then as when we build with the Visual Studio, this macro here is defined, math library, so it will set everything to export. This part of the function will make the functions you define here available to another applications. If you choose another route, as like importing this the source code of this project in another project, then for instance, if you import the header, it will define this DLL import. It will use this to make sure you can use the function inside your other projects. I don't know if you understand this. It's like, for instance, you create a new Visual Studio project, and then you import the header of this one, like MathLibrary test.h, and then it will mark everything with DLL import, so it works, right? So that's that. And then here is a simple Fibonacci function. I'll just delete this comment here. So basically here is initialization, where for instance you could put here 0 and 1, so f of 0 is 1, like the Fibonacci of 0 is 1, and then it does the rest, right? You call next, and then it generates the next Fibonacci sequence number on this next function here. You can get the current number in this sequence by calling Fibonacci current, and you can get the index of the current value in this sequence by using Fibonacci index. So save here. We're done with that. So let me open the CPP. Go back here to the Microsoft tutorial. Okay, so mathlibrary.cpp. I'll have to put this code here. I'll just copy. Paste. Alright. So everything is here. I just have to change this to mathlibrary tests. So here are internal state variables like previous, current, index. This is interesting because the DLL can keep an internal state, as you call it in Unity. You won't see it because it's inside the DLL, but it will save these variables inside the code there that you cannot see, that you import there. Okay, so here is the implementation, current, previous, and initialization, Fibonacci next implementation. I won't go into details in this because our main goal here is to tell you how to use this in Unity. Okay, so let's see. Everything's okay. Oh, okay, so here is math library test, not math library header. Okay, so I think this is good. I'll just build the solution now. Okay, there's one more thing. I'll go here to properties. I think it's CPP. Okay, I remembered. So here you open the properties. You go to configuration properties, math library test. You have to choose the correct platform. You make sure build is checked, and here the platform has to be according to your processor. It could be if your processor is 32 bits, you choose Win32. If it's a 64-bit processor, or it's most computers these days are a 64-bit processor, you choose x64. If not, it won't work with Unity. So okay, so you click apply, and now you're ready to build your solution. So I'll just click build. It's building, generating code. Okay, so it built my solution, and it outputted the result to this folder here, DLL. It's under repos, math library test, x64, debug, math library test DLL. So I'll just go to this folder. I'll click here, open the solution folder in Explorer. Okay, so we generated the DLL, and in part 2 of this video I'll teach you how to import the DLL in Unity and call its functions.